sales is a numbers game. Or is it? We've all heard this notion that sales is a numbers game. Here's what you have to do. I want you to call 100 people. Of those 100 people, 20 of them will give you the time of day. Of the 20 that will give you the time of day, 10 of them will agree to have a meeting with you. Of those 10, we're going to narrow it down to 5 that are real qualified opportunities, really good ones for you, and we think that you can convert 2 of those into actual clients. So there's your formula. In fact, if you want to sell more, just increase that top line number and it just trickles down all the way to the end. But if you get 2 clients out of 100, recognize that you left a bad impression with 98 out of 100. You're not going to be able to go back into those people later. So instead of thinking about, well, I'm just going to contact 100 companies that are this size in revenue or this many employees, what we want to think about instead is, what do people need to be experiencing right now so that whatever it is that I'm offering could be seen as a great asset or value to them? So I need to pivot my positioning around the problems that I'm really good at solving. So now, instead of trying to attract as many human beings as possible, I want to attract the people for whom I can have the greatest impact. So for example, if I was someone who was selling human resources and benefit services, I could just contact every company with more than a certain number of employees and say, I'd love to talk to you about our company and our products and services. And almost nobody would care. Well, what I could do is I could say, our best clients come to us because they're having trouble with retention and recruitment of key personnel. And we know that many of them are leaving because their benefits are not competitive. They don't have enough insight into employee engagement. So if I know that's the case, then instead of just contacting everyone out there, I might start creating content. And the content might be focused on what leads to poor retention and recruitment of key personnel. Now, who's going to read that? Only people who care about retention and recruitment of key personnel. So now when someone reaches out for information, I'm less worried about how many employees do you have and how much revenue do you have. I now know that there's somebody on the other end of that conversation who cares about the things that we care about. Because we care about, in that example, moving the needle for retention and recruitment of key personnel, not just selling some sort of assessment, some sort of benefit services. So in some respects, sales is a numbers game. But instead of thinking about, I just blanketly hit 100 people, narrows it down to 20, to 10, to 5, to 2, instead what I want to think about is, what if the first group I attract is 20 people who actually want to solve that problem? Now, if I can attract 20 people who want to solve that problem, there's a pretty good chance that of those 20 people, at least 10 of them will want to have a meaningful conversation. And if we ask the right questions, we can easily qualify which of those people is worth our time. So now we have those 10 people, and of those 10 people, if they're already trying to solve that problem, if that's something that's an issue for them, then we might actually convert 5 of those into clients. So now instead of going from 100 to 20 to 10 to 5 to 2, we might go from 20 to 10 to 5. So in that respect, sales can be a numbers game. And the other thing that people overlook is, how much time are you wasting chasing the 98 who you never should have wasted time on to begin with? So think smarter about targeting who are the people you can help the most. What kind of problems are they trying to solve? And who are the people who you're best suited to help? And if you do it that way, sales can be a numbers game, and it's a numbers game that gets your numbers going straight up. If you have more questions, just visit SameSideSellingAcademy.com.